channel. I'm Jen. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and today I'm going to be doing another testing foundation video for you. So I picked up the new XX Revolution Glow Skin Luminous Foundation. I've been waiting for ages for the XX Revolution stuff to come out since it was first announced. I was so excited because they have so many really nice products. I think the packaging looks absolutely gorgeous and they just look really good quality. I picked up only the foundation. I picked up the shade FX 7.5 because I have just tanned, as you can tell. My hands always go oranger than the rest of my body. I picked up the Glow Skin foundation. They do have another foundation, but this is like the more hydrating one. Like, they're both hydrating foundations, but this one's the more hydrating one. They have so many shades of these two foundations. I can't remember the number. I think it was something like 77, but I'll leave it on the screen how many shades they actually do have. But yeah, they have a great shade range, and I like how both of the foundations are great for giving you more hydration to your skin, and especially because we're in summer and it's so hot, I think your skin does need that. XX Revolution is like basically crossing over skincare and makeup and forming it into one, which is something that I love. This is the one that I picked up. It's in the shade FX 7.5. I do like how all Revolution foundations from all the different brands that they have do tell you what type of skin tone it's for and the undertone that it's for. So this foundation is lightweight, buildable, skin true foundation, medium to full coverage. The other foundation is a full coverage, but I do prefer like a medium to full. This one's illuminating pearlescent particles for a glowing skin finish, and it's infused with hyaluronic acid to hydrate skin. That is what's in this foundation. I'm so excited to try it. I actually stayed up till 12 till they launched because I was dying to get my hands on this foundation and I didn't want to risk it going in stock. So this is the video that I'm going to be doing today. I hope you enjoy watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let's go. So I just wanted to say that the only thing so far that I'm not a huge fan of, that you have to be wary of, is the sticker on the top does not match the colour at all in the bottle. So I did also just have a cheeky look to make sure that it looked like an okay shade, because I thought this sticker looked very dark, because I tan but I only do it so it's a more natural colour. It's not dark or anything like that. So that's the sticker, and then that's it in the bottle, and you can see that that is definitely a good few shades darker than what's in this bottle here. This is the gorgeous packaging that it comes in. It's frosted glass, it's got XX on the bottom, and this foundation has the shiny pink lid. I think this foundation looks very expensive. You wouldn't know it was from a drugstore. This foundation was £15, so it's more expensive than a normal Revolution foundation, but again, it is infused with those skin and makeup qualities. The foundation comes with a lovely silver shiny pump, and everyone knows that we love a good pump on a foundation. We hate pouring foundation onto our hands. So yeah, that is another great point about this foundation. As usual, every time I test a foundation on my channel, I like to test one side with a primer and one side without. So I'm going to be taking my Milk Hydro Grip Primer and just putting it on one side of my face. So this is my left, but on camera it will be your right. I do suffer from really dry skin and flaky skin, and it is sensitive as well. As you can see, yeah, I've got a bit of redness showing up. So I'm just going to do one pump onto my hand. So this is the colour. It does look a little light, just because my neck is so tanned and I have literally just tanned and washed it off. So this is definitely like a thick foundation, but medium to full coverage foundations normally are a thicker consistency, but I don't mind a thick foundation as long as it doesn't make me look cakey. Okay, so first I'm going to blend in the primer side. So I am going to just do the primer side. I was so excited to try this foundation because I'm hoping this is going to be like my go-to foundation, definitely for summer, because I'm hoping it's not going to show any of my dry patches. Oh, it does give a nice shine. I do feel very glowy. The primer side has just gone on really nice and smoothly. I think that it has given a good coverage. I did have quite a lot of blemishes on my face and redness, and it has seemed to cover that straight away. Now I'm going to do the non-primer side. Sorry if you can hear the rain, it is raining today. We have had a lot of good weather and now the rain is obviously here. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks both sides. I think both sides look really nice. I think that both sides look exactly the same. They both applied just as quickly as each other. There was no difference between primer and non-primer. So if we come closer, we can see that I did have a lot of blemishes and a lot of them have been covered. There's just a tiny bit here on my nose that hasn't covered straight away. But yeah, I think that so far it's got a really nice coverage. It definitely does give your skin a glowy, luminous look, which is what I love in a foundation, especially because I do have very dry skin. Oh, another reason why I haven't tested the other XX Revolution products with this foundation is because I find that if like a range from a brand, they all make products that all look nice when you use all the products together. So if you used every single makeup product from XX Revolution, then of course they're all going to look really nice and they're all going to blend really nicely because they're all from the same kind of formula, if that makes sense. So obviously I wanted to test the foundation on how it works with other products that aren't from the XX Revolution brand. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so far this is the foundation. I absolutely love it. I think that that is such a really nice coverage. I'm gonna just see how it's looking on my dry skin. Wow, it actually looks so good on my skin. It looks like I've put on a tinted moisturiser. That's how glowy my skin looks. It hasn't clung to a single dry patch. Like, my nose is definitely my problem area. It is the driest part of my face, especially in my little creases here of my nose. And normally foundation clings to it straight away, and this foundation hasn't at all, which is just amazing. Like, this is like a first time thing for me. The only thing, it just hasn't covered like my little red blemishes here on my nose, but they are very dark red. I think if I were to put more foundation on, I could probably cover it. But yeah, I'm very happy with how luminous my skin looks. My skin looks really healthy. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It doesn't look like I've got loads and loads of makeup on. It just looks like I've got a nice coverage on my face. So yeah, I am so happy with this foundation so far. So I'm just going to apply the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll come back on camera to tell you what I've used and how it applied with the rest of the foundation and my makeup. Okay, I'm back. This is my finished makeup look. I'm going to tell you the products I used with it, so you know that these products work really well with the foundation. All products worked really nice with the foundation. Absolutely no problems. There was no patchiness or hard to blend anything. It was just perfect. So I am absolutely loving this foundation. For concealer, I used the Collection Lasting Perfection. I did test this with the foundation on a few videos ago, so definitely check that out. So this is what I used to conceal under my eyes. Then I used the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is my favourite. I always use this powder. Then I used the Revolution Pro Sculpting Bronzer. I've used this so many times on my channel. It's like my favourite bronzer ever. Then I used the Collection Soft Glow Blusher. So I had no problem putting on my blusher this time, and no foundation came off as I applied it. Then I used the Becca Mini highlighter. This is the vanilla quartz one. This is just the mini version. For eyes, I used my new Morphe Jeffree Star Artistry palette. I bought this the other day when it was in sale on the website, and I absolutely love this palette. So I went for like a grey smoky look today with the silver shade. Oh, the pigmentation of this palette is just so good. Then I used the Collection Extreme Felt Tip Liner. I buy this one just because it does the job and it's only £3. Then for mascara, I used the Maybelline Last Sensational Primer and the mascara to go with it, and this is a great combination. I'll just show you my eyelashes. They are the best I've ever seen them. This is the best mascara I've ever used, and this beats the e.l.f. infused mineral one that I absolutely love. So yeah, that's what I use on my eyes. And then finally for lips, I use the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Angel Food Cake. So it gives a lovely pinky purple look. And just going back to the foundation, I definitely think it is buildable. I put more foundation on my nose to cover those blemishes and it did the trick just fine. So yeah, definitely buildable. I would definitely say it is definitely a medium and it's almost full coverage. It just didn't cover those last few blemishes, but I think the coverage is really nice. You can't tell that you're wearing a lot of foundation on your face, and it's not cakey or anything. It's not clung to any of my dry patches on my face. I do normally get quite a bit of clinginess along my jawline here, and so far I've got absolutely none of that. So I'm just going to show you my finished makeup look. This is everything. The bronzer and the blush are applied really nicely and smoothly. Now I'm going to do a wear test, so I'm going to do up to 9 hours. So I'm going to check back after 3 hours, 6 hours and then 9 hours, and then tell you what I think of the foundation then, and show you my condition of my skin in those different time frames. If you have also bought the foundation, please let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you think of the foundation. But so far I am so happy with how it looks. I just feel really glowy and I feel really happy. I'll check back with you in 3 hours. Okay, so I'm back with my 3-hour check-in. I want to show you what the foundation looks like now. I think that it still looks really, really nice. The primer side definitely looks a lot more smoother, I think, than the non-primer side. I feel like you can't really tell that much difference, but just at the bottom here, I feel like it's lasting a little bit longer along my jawline on the primer side. So far, I think I still look really, really nice and glowy. The foundation isn't drying out my skin. It still feels very hydrated, which is something that I really, really like in foundation. I hate feeling really dry after I put on a foundation. So yeah, this is what the foundation looks like. It is just wearing off. Can you see just a little bit there on the on my nose? But that is like a really big blemish that I've got, and I might have just accidentally rubbed some of it off on my nose. At the end of my nose it looks a tiny bit cakey, but that is the only thing I can say about this foundation at this minute. I think that everything still looks really nice. My foundation and my makeup still looks really nice together. It's not going patchy. So yeah, so far I am so happy with the 3-hour mark. So I'll check back after 6 hours. Okay, so I'm back with the 6-hour check-in for the foundation. It still has that very illuminating look. It looks very glowy. My mum said that my face looked very, very glowy as well. I would say if you had really oily skin, I don't think this foundation would work that great for you, because then you've got your oiliness and the glow mixing in, and it could just make you look really, really greasy. I think that the glow is quite a lot, but I don't actually mind it. Like, I do like a nice glowy foundation. So yeah, I am very happy. It has come off just on my chin around here and along the side of my jaw on both sides. So the primer side and the non-primer side. The primer side looks really nice and the non-primer side looks just as nice, really. I feel like the foundation is lasting a tiny bit longer on the primer side than the non-primer side, because it has worn off a tiny bit more on this bottom half of my face and only just a little bit on this side. But other than that, there's not really much of a difference. I think that, again, it's still got that really nice coverage. It's not coming off. My flakiness and my dryness around my nose, it actually isn't touching it, which is a very rare thing for me in a foundation. Normally all around my nose would be very dry, or it would have worn off by now. It has worn off at the end of my nose, but I think I have been touching my nose just as a normal thing in the day. And yeah, I think the coverage is still really good for 6 hours, so I will check back in the 9-hour mark. Okay, so this is the final check-in. This is the 9-hour mark. I've had the foundation on for 9 hours. I put it on at 9 and now it is 6. So I have to say that the foundation is really nice. It is definitely a glowy foundation. If you don't like looking glowy or you have really oily skin, I wouldn't say this foundation was for you. I would say get the other XX Revolution foundation to try. I think that the primer side has definitely lasted a lot longer than the non-primer side. Definitely looking close up, a lot of it has come off all over my cheek, and I do have still a bit of bronzer and definitely my concealer under my eye blended with the foundation. So I definitely think you should have a primer with this foundation. I do say I love the luminous look, but I feel like this is a very, very luminous foundation. I prefer something glowy but not too much. So would I use this foundation again? Yes, I would, but I'd use maybe a matte powder or a different type of powder all over my face just to make it look a little bit more matte, just because I don't like having a foundation that can look a little bit greasy. Foundation is definitely more glowy, but it also makes me look quite oily. So I have had to tap in some of the foundation, and also it has settled a little tiny bit. You won't be able to see, it is the slightest bit, but into my smile lines here, which doesn't normally happen in a foundation because they are very, very fine. But that has happened, so I have had to like dab it for the last few hours just to settle the foundation in again. But that is the only thing that I'd say, if you have really deep smile lines, maybe this foundation isn't for you. On the whole, I think that the foundation still looks really, really nice. It looks glowy. The coverage obviously isn't quite there. It is definitely, it starts off as an almost full coverage foundation, and then it does wear off to more of a medium coverage. So yeah, I would just say that. But for 9 hours, I think the foundation has done really, really well. I absolutely love the new XX Revolution foundation. I'm definitely going to be using it again. I'm just going to be using it with a powder all over my face. I think that the colours and the shade ranges that they have are amazing. And yeah, so that is my review on this foundation. It is £15. I don't think that's a very expensive price point. I think that's a good in between. It definitely did wear off around my nose. For the dryness, it actually didn't show any of my flaky dryness patches, just apart from just under my nose here. But that is the only place that showed a little bit of dryness. But this is the first foundation I've ever tested on my channel and ever used that actually hasn't clung to any dry patches on my face, which is amazing. So yeah, I would highly recommend this foundation if you have dry skin. If you don't want that over luminous look, definitely use a matte powder. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really would like to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of June, so that would be amazing if you could help me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!